Have you ever looked up at the sky and seen an airplane flying high above? It looks like a tiny silver bird soaring through the clouds. Millions of people fly on airplanes every single day, traveling to new places, visiting family, or going on exciting adventures. When you think about it, it's pretty amazing. We've built these incredible flying machines that can take us almost anywhere on Earth, and believe it or not, flying is already one of the safest ways to travel. It's true. Engineers and pilots have worked for many years to make sure that every part of the plane, from the engines to the wings, is as safe as it can possibly be. But even with all that safety, the idea of a plane crash can be very scary. We see it in movies, and we hear about it on the news. Even though crashes are extremely rare, the thought of one happening is enough to make some people feel nervous about flying. It's a big what if that can linger in the back of our minds. What if something goes wrong? This fear is completely understandable. After all, when you are tens of thousands of feet in the air, you want to be certain that you will land safely on the ground. That's why the smartest minds in science and engineering are always working on new ways to make flying even safer. Their goal is to make accidents not just rare, but completely impossible. Imagine a world where a plane crash is something you only read about in history books. This isn't just a dream, it's a real possibility that scientists are working toward right now. They are developing amazing new technologies designed to protect everyone on board, no matter what happens. They are looking at the problem from every angle, asking questions, and testing new ideas. It's this spirit of constant improvement and innovation that has made air travel so reliable, and it's what will carry us into an even safer future. The big idea that scientists are exploring is truly incredible. What if a plane could protect itself in an emergency, much like a car's airbag protects a driver? What if, in the final moments before an unplanned landing, the airplane itself could change its shape to cushion the impact? This sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie, doesn't it? But it's a real concept being developed today. This forward-thinking approach could fundamentally change how we think about air safety, turning a moment of potential disaster into a manageable, survivable event. Science is turning fiction into fact. So, how would this amazing crash-proof technology actually work? Let's consider the basic idea. The concept is centered around a special system that would deploy just moments before an impact. Think of it like a giant, super strong balloon built into the body of the airplane. This isn't a balloon you'd have at a birthday party, of course. It would be made of incredibly tough, advanced materials that can withstand tremendous force. In an emergency, sensors on the plane would detect that an impact is about to happen. Instantly, the system would activate, rapidly inflating these protective cushions. These cushions, or inflatable structures, would deploy from the underside and sides of the plane. In a matter of seconds, they would create a massive, absorbent layer between the aircraft and the ground. The main purpose of this layer is to absorb energy. In any collision, the real danger comes from the sudden stop. All the energy of the moving plane has to go somewhere, and that's what causes damage. This inflatable system would act like a giant brake, slowing the plane down over a fraction of a second longer than it normally would, which makes all the difference in the world for the people inside. Let's break down the physics in a simple way. Imagine dropping an egg onto a concrete floor. It will almost certainly break because the impact is hard and sudden. Now, imagine dropping that same egg onto a big fluffy pillow. It lands softly and doesn't break. The pillow absorbed the energy of the fall. The inflatable airplane technology works on the exact same principle, but on a much larger scale. The inflated sections would cushion the entire aircraft, dissipating the immense force of the impact and protecting the main cabin where all the passengers are seated. This system is designed to be completely automatic. The pilots wouldn't need to do anything extra during an already stressful situation. Advanced computer systems, using data from radar and other sensors, would determine the precise moment to deploy the system for maximum effectiveness. The gas used to inflate the cushions would be stored in special canisters and released almost instantly, filling the structures in the blink of an eye. It's a brilliant combination of advanced materials, smart sensors, and rapid deployment technology, all working together to create a protective bubble for the airplane. This incredible idea isn't just a drawing on a whiteboard. Scientists and engineers are already hard at work building and testing it. They are creating prototypes, which are early versions of the technology, to see how well it works in the real world. These tests are extremely important because they help the creators find and fix any problems. They start small, perhaps with scale models of airplanes, and drop them from heights to measure how well the inflatable cushions absorb the shock. they use high-speed cameras and all sorts of sensors to gather data on the impact forces. These experiments are conducted in controlled environments like special laboratories or testing grounds. Engineers meticulously analyze the results of every single test. They might try different materials for the inflatable bags to find which one is the strongest and lightest. They also experiment with the shape and size of the cushions to figure out the best design for protecting the plane. They even test the inflation system over and over again to make sure it is reliable and deploys at the exact right speed. It's a careful, step-by-step process of trial and error, all guided by the scientific method. The next steps will involve moving to larger and more complex tests. Eventually, the teams will have to test the system on full-sized, uncrewed aircraft. This is the ultimate test to prove that the technology can work on a real airplane. These tests will provide invaluable data, showing engineers how the system performs under the immense weight and speed of an actual passenger jet. Every successful test brings us one step closer to seeing this technology become a standard safety feature on all airplanes, just like seatbelts and life vests are today. Of course, there are many challenges to overcome. The system needs to be lightweight so it doesn't affect the plane's ability to fly efficiently. It also has to be perfectly reliable, guaranteed to work every single time it's needed, but never deploying by accident. Engineers are working tirelessly to solve these problems, using computer simulations and hands-on experiments to refine their designs. The path from a brilliant idea to a finished product is long, but every problem solved is a victory for science and a step toward a safer sky for everyone. So, what does this all mean for the future of flying? It means a future where everyone can board an airplane with complete peace of mind. Imagine knowing that the plane you are on is equipped with a system that makes a crash survivable. This technology could erase the fear of flying for millions of people. Families could travel to their vacation destinations without a single worry, and business travelers could fly to meetings feeling completely secure. It would transform air travel from something that is already very safe into something that feels practically foolproof. The whole experience of flying would become more relaxed. This innovation wouldn't just change how passengers feel, it would be a monumental achievement for the entire aviation industry. It would represent the single biggest leap in air safety since the invention of the jet engine. Airlines could proudly advertise that their fleets are equipped with this life-saving technology. It could become a new global standard, with all new aircraft required to have these systems installed. This would push the boundaries of what we thought was possible, inspiring engineers to dream up even more ways to improve our world through science and technology. The journey to create a crash-proof plane is a perfect example of the power of human ingenuity. It shows us that when we face a problem, no matter how big or scary it seems, we can use science to find a solution. We can observe the world, ask questions, come up with creative ideas, and then test those ideas to see if they work. This process of discovery and innovation is what allows us to build a better, safer world for ourselves and for future generations. It's about not accepting the world as it is, but always striving to make it better. The sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. As we continue to explore and innovate, we will solve problems we once thought were unsolvable. From medicine to transportation, science is constantly providing us with tools to improve our lives. The development of inflatable airplane technology is a powerful reminder that with curiosity, determination, and a little bit of science, we can achieve the extraordinary. We can build a future where the skies are not only friendly but are truly, completely safe for everyone. Now that is something to be excited about.